All right, so the purpose of today's experiment is to see how bad stretching really is or how beneficial. A lot of people say don't stretch at all. We're gonna see today. I'm gonna do a vert and a broad, hands on the hip, stretch, non-stretch, warm up, stretch again, and then break, and then see how we're doing. All right, so that's gonna give us an idea of where we would be at. Keep it consistent, even though I'm a little chilly right now. I know I'm gonna take it off once I get warmed up. Keep everything consistent. Take the hoodie off. Let's go.
So like I said, there's no warm, so I did this vertical. It wasn't really that high. It was 22.8. Then from there we go to a broad jump, which is right here is 6 foot 5 inches.
So the first one with no warm up. I'm about to go back to the second one.
Now after doing the first one, that made me a little bit more warm, but still not really all the way warm. That was 25.8 inches. And then for the broad, this one was 7 feet on the dot.
Now we're gonna do some basic static stretching.
Now these are just basic stretches that most people would do prior to doing anything. Try to keep it as consistent as what most people would do, down the middle, space them out, down to the right, to the left, quad stretch, calf stretch, groin stretch. And I held each one of these for 30 seconds a piece. Make sure I had the timer there, so I was on point with that. Now, as soon as I finished the stretching, I got right back into jumping. This first vertical right here was 26.9 inches. And from there, I went right to the broad, and this one was 7 feet on the dot again, which isn't bad. Now we went back to another vertical, which this one was 27.3, which was an improvement. And then this broad jump was 7 feet once again.
I'm gonna go through a true dynamic warm up and then go and do it again.
Now, when we're going through a dynamic warm-up, I like to do things like high knees, butt kicks, karaoke's, pull and reach, knee hugs, things like that. The stretching is not going to be static. Everything's dynamic, moving through it. Going through lunges, getting the groin work. From there, I get a little more speed, leg swings. We are going to do our walking low lunges, getting our knees, our ankle. Then we're going into our internal and external rotation with the 90-90s. We're getting the hamstrings right with the walkouts, glute bridge marches, things like that to stabilize. From there, we're going to get to some drops, similar to how you would falling off a bench, like a dip drop, but you don't have to. Skips for height, skips for distance, straight leg, bent leg. Then from there, we're going to get some sprints and get explosive, and then we're ready to go.
All right, so warm up is complete now. I'll take a 1 to 2 minute break, get a little water, and then from there, I go right back into it.
Now going to the vertical, this is the highest vertical I had, which was 29 inches. And then also, this is also the longest broad jump, which was 7 feet 5 inches, which is pretty good. It's being considered right after a warm up, right? Then from there we'll go again. This was 28 inches, 28.5, and then the broad was 7 feet 3 inches.
All right, now I'm gonna spend the next 5 minutes stretching, same static stretch that I did before, and we'll see how that affects me. It doesn't improve, does it get worse? We'll see.
Now, we did just have our best performance so far with the warm, so let's see what happens if we stretch and get relaxed and everything else. After 5 minutes of the same stretches I did earlier, I went right back into the vertical, and guess what? It was not better. That was 26.3 inches, and then the broad was 6 feet 8 inches.
Now, one thing I will say, after stretching, you do feel good. You feel better. I feel like, I feel relaxed. I feel looser, I guess you would say. With that, doesn't necessarily mean I'm springier. Sometimes we correlate relaxation with maximum performance. So if you relax, you'll use more of your central nervous system. You'll be able to have that pop. But right now, it's not looking like it so far. But we'll see. In the next 30 to 60 seconds, I'm gonna go again, see where we're at.
Now, after probably around 1 or 2 minutes, the vertical did increase a little bit. I was at 27 inches with that one and 7 feet with the broad.
All right, so it's been around 20 minutes. I want to go make my food.
Now, after a 20-minute break, guess what? The vertical increased again. That was 27.7 inches and 7 feet 3 inches for the broad, and again 28.3 inches for the vert, and 7 foot 3 inches for the broad. And for the ones wondering how much the hands on hip affected the vertical, I did one regular and it was 36 inches. Now these are the numbers. In conclusion, I would say make sure you warm up, then get to work. And if you feel like you need to stretch for whatever reason, make sure it's at least a 20-minute window before you have to be explosive and powerful, or else you're not going to perform at your best.